gentlemen, whenever you are ready. That works. Alright, I'm going to go grab a bottle of water then.
Sounds good. Be here watching the Nexus.
Real quick, gents, I'm going to go grab a bottle of water and I'll be right back. If that's okay.
Should I shuffle that? Not shuffle it?
Just hold on for...
Okay.
Yep.
Right, there's like people give us massages during this part, right? Keep us calm.
I don't think that would work. That might make me more tense.
Alright, so these are the tokens that we're using in play. You guys have your keys.
Mine are in my box.
Okay, you've got your keys there. Try to use these before you get to the overflow if you have to.
Yeah, we use these rich kid tokens.
Pretty.
These are really nice. I want these tokens.
I want these tokens like they got them. Here you go. Use my tokens. Look cool.
So that clock over there is your guys'
I am
clock,
shaking like a...
right? Get up, do some jumping jacks, get the blood flowing.
I did. I woke up so early. I went for a run this morning because I'm like, I got to move.
Yeah,
Where are you
me
from,
too.
Dan?
That's why I do this a lot.
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Okay.
A little south of Milwaukee.
Short city.
Chicago suburbs. So we
So
sort of
a lot of
play.
people have asked a lot of questions, and remembering all of those details is not
We do sort of play at the same local store
Oh, really?
on occasion.
Dice Dojo?
That's neat.
Not that I've ever actually had to play.
Oh, you know what? I just forgot.
I still have 36 cards there.
Yeah, all of them are there. Sleeves are all good.
God, that double sleeve deck is like you got twice as many cards as I do.
Double sleeve attack. You're in the finals. It's worth it. Protect it. What if somebody like accidentally throws a coffee across the room?
That's alright. They trying to
I find a new deck to play.
Try and fight it out.
This one made it all the way here.
Yep.
You're gonna have to find a new deck to play because you can't play that in locals.
I haven't been out. This thing went top 8 at Schaumburg. It's been sitting in a box forever.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
'Cause it's,
Power
Right.
5, right?
yeah.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna check with the Wookiee, and then I'll let you know when you can exchange cards.
Where is your card?
I got a shuffle.
Good to shuffle?
Yeah, y'all go ahead and shuffle up. You can shuffle up. You can decide who's playing first.
Side game. Pokemon. You teach me Pokemon. You play Pokemon, right?
I dabble.
I bought some cards, and I keep trying to get my 6-year-old to play, but he just won't sit for me. I used to, I mean, like, I have stuff like first edition garbage from, because I worked at a card shop back then,
Okay.
but nothing that's actually worth it.
Gotcha. Pokemon's my main game, so very familiar.
I have
with
a revised Charizard in a box somewhere.
that. Okay.
Somewhere.
And by revise, you mean like a kid drew a picture of it?
No, like the second
Like
printing.
the base set, not shadowless.
The one without the first on the bottom
Yeah.
of it.
When I was a kid, my stepmom had bought like an entire case, opened a first edition Charizard, and then suddenly it disappeared.
Oh. Yeah. And that's how Venusian doppelgangers were where I grew up in Magic. It's like, there's like 2 of them, and they kept showing up in different people's hands, but nobody ever knew where they went. They just disappear and show up somewhere else. They're like, oh yeah, what are those? But then it would just show up somewhere else. So
We're
it's
gonna
like,
follow same structure, setup, keys.
I didn't pull my keys out.
Nope.
guess you can't win.
The little thing in the back, I always forget it.
So can you get us some of those sweet mini 19s for getting here?
Yeah. Unfortunately, those are.
I roll?
How about odds and evens?
Sure.
I'll take odds.
You got it.
All right, gentlemen, you ready? You may view each other's deck list starting.
Trying to remember if
All right, guys, we're back here. This is the finals. This is going to be George going up against Dan, Gasolina, Maximilian Dungeon Keeper going up against the woman that has the alley. So I will be putting the deck lists in the chat right now for you guys. Check them out. And I have
Kira Mode, here to cast as a guest host.
Yeah. So how you doing? How'd you do this weekend?
Not great. I went 4-2, but lost my winning in, so that was rough. But like the guy I lost a winning into, his deck was a very good matchup against mine, and he played really well too. So I'm not overly upset at that one. It's an earlier round where I got beat on a pretty rough play, but I mean that's keyforge in a nutshell.
For
Happens,
sure.
You know.
Yeah. I mean I've often very often said this game is like a game of poker. A lot of RNG, a lot of numbers crunching, things of that. Playing to your outs and stuff as to that. The only thing it's really honestly missing is poker chips in front of you, really, right?
Yeah.
So I've often done that analogy, but let's take a look at the decks here real quick. We got Gasolina. Really, the only thing I'm seeing here, obviously, we're really relying on that Restring Guntus lock. Lands is no longer a thing for George.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, this is George has the now opportunity to be the first 2-time Vault Tour champion.
Yeah.
So this is obviously pretty big for George. What else are you looking at here? Obviously, big Restring Guntus CTW lockout.
Yeah. So you need to make sure that those calls are good. The other thing that George has going for him is he does have a really big Untamed list and a moderately sized Disc list. I mean, his Disc list is a bunch of weenies, so you don't want to count all the creatures. But his Untamed side, like, he could potentially build a board.
Yeah.
And while Dan has some decent removal, he doesn't have a universal board wipe. So if, like, George just runs all of the Untamed guys early, he can run away with the board. But, like, the thing is, George doesn't have, like, any key control of significance.
Right. That's going to be a big problem.
And Dan does. So if this game looks like a normal game of Keyforge, Dan's pretty heavy favored. But if George can have either a really explosive Untamed turn or have really strong Control the Weak, Restring Guntus, it's going to be Time Hog plays, then he can pull out the win too.
Yeah.
I also think that as far as racing goes, they're about even. So, like, I don't think either player has a significant advantage when I was looking at their deck lists.
All right, let's take a look at the woman who has the alley. Dan looking at some pretty heavy Ember control here. Faygin with the double Urchin. This Shadow side is pretty stacked.
Two Whispers, one Last Job, a Bait.
And a Speed Sigil.
Speed Sigil with Dodger. He also has a Lash on the Disc side, along with a Shooler. And
The big thing is that Snudge Shooler combo that you could see pop out with that Speed Sigil.
And he has a Hysteria too. So like
Right.
there's that Snudge gets additional value as well.
Yeah.
His Untamed side is pretty bad though.
Yeah, it's something I dance from my local, so he's well aware that, like, besides like Nepenthe and Mimicry, it's rough. You know, he tries to kind of get rid of those, and looks like we're starting game one here. With a Lash of Broken Dreams, going to play some 3 Fates for Ember, and that looks to me like a Shaffles and a Dust Imp.
Yeah.
So awesome play. Getting Shaffles out early is pretty big.
Yeah, it makes it so you have to interact with the board. Like anytime you can do that, that's probably good for George. Just because you want to have Dan in awkward spots, because then that makes it so your Control the Weak plays are stronger. But like because that really is his most important win condition.
So the big thing that I'm seeing here is he does have answers for those Shaffles. Unfortunately, in the form, unfortunately for George, in the form of Relentless Whispers.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move this really close to you.
I think that Speed Sigil helps. It helps
and we got
Dan
the
a
Speed
lot more
Sigil
than it
out
helps
and
George.
Nexus attacking in. So, which isn't a bad move because really George doesn't really have, besides Seed, I don't really think he's got any. I mean, he's got a Bauble in there as well and a Library of Bauble, but nothing to really honestly worry about.
Yeah.
So probably a good play there. And it looks like, I'm not sure if he played that Booby Trap or discarded it.
I think he played it for an Amber.
Okay.
So he should have 2.
Yep, looks like he has 2.
All right, let's see how big this Untamed turn is. Hopefully he would get 4 creatures here.
Oh, there's a Teliga. That's going to be a problem for Dan too. Teliga's got that weird 3 power, and it's going to have to be answered.
Let's see. I can't quite see Dan's hand, but he has a kill spell that doesn't work, and he has a Nocturnal Maneuver which also doesn't do anything. Like it's a stall effect, but it doesn't actually kill anything.
Just got to crank you up a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm guessing Dan's going disc because he handed
okay, I
disc
missed
and
that.
3 fates. So
Okay.
he discarded the
There you
handed
go.
disc, but he 3 fates.
I mean, I find the handed disc gets discarded a lot.
Snudge coming in as we get some color variation. Unfortunately, it's just a kind of unfortunate part of today. And a Snudge and a missed Lash. But it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, the Lash doesn't matter. Dan did tap it. I mean,
He tapped it when he was drawing, but it's
okay.
It really doesn't matter at that point. I think with George is at what now 4 to going to 5.
yeah.
Skippy
So
though coming out is kind of big.
I'm gonna quickly look at George's deck again because I'm not sure he has a whole lot of cards that greatly benefit from the Speed Sigil. So like Guard Demon's nice. He has a Quixo, which is like okay.
Yeah.
And a Big Twig, which is good. Everything else is pretty much comes into play, and that's it.
I
Or
mean,
they're
honestly,
big bodies.
the bears are big bodies. They can be used as removal.
Yeah, but I mean, you contrast that with Dan's deck,
yeah.
where he has a Snudge, he has Stealer Souls, he has Tocsin,
Right.
Faygin, Nexus, Dodger, to go along with an Ink of the Spider if he needs to kill something.
Really, the big part about that is that Hunting Witch. He's got a good amount of creatures in there to gain Ember off
Yeah.
of. But
It also makes Restoring Guntus a lot worse because now Dan always has a kill spell if he has a
Right.
creature, right? So a big part of the Restoring Guntus lock is you want to make sure that you put him in a spot where he can't immediately kill it and it stalls for a while.
Did he use that Niffle? I wasn't looking.
Um,
I'm assuming he did.
Yeah. I actually wasn't looking. I was looking at the deck. So.
Yeah, I was looking at the decks, unfortunately, too. I was just looking at what he had. But, yeah, no, he's got – I'm assuming he used the Niffle.
The Niffle doesn't have damage on it. So
And it wouldn't, because I would assume you'd used it to reap.
Yeah. How did he kill the Skippy, though? I don't know. Maybe chat
That's a
sees it.
Good question. Yeah, let's look at the chat. Somebody will tell me. Nothing in there.
Okay.
But I'm not sure how he killed Skippy. But Ritual of Balance and
co-op
NFC.
hunting. Okay.
Oh, cooperative hunting. Okay, that makes sense. It's a very easy kill. Skippy only being 1, so it's not hard.
Yeah.
You know, Ritual of Balance and a Nep Seed. He's going to want to use those Nep Seeds, obviously, for the Control of the Weeks and the Restoring Guntus's to try to get the lock. And a little too much. Nope, that's a
bait for 1.
Bait for 1. Urchin to steal 1. And this board is going to kind of become a problem for George here.
So one thing I did see Dan do in games that he's played, which is really smart, is he's not afraid at all of Relentless Whispering his own guys.
Yeah.
I see a lot of players really scared to do that. And he's consistently assassinated his own dudes, even when his opponent has a pretty oppressive board.
Yeah.
Because like his deck, while I wouldn't call it a racing deck, if it does have the Speed Sigil, it has the tools to put the gas on.
Right.
And he's doing that right now.
And I think he realizes he's got to kind of put the gas on before he gets that lock. I don't know if I would have done it there. Diversity on board is something that George's deck is not going to like.
Yeah.
Because as long as he's got diversity on the board, there's no way to protect Restoring Guntus.
Yeah.
So that's really going to hurt the Restoring Guntus in the end. But we're going to get a little Twin Bolt, which will kill. I'm not sure who he picked up. It'll kill the Snudge.
I mean, what's scary for George here is that Dan has, if I'm counting correctly, 9 Amber.
Yep.
Like just.
And that's a key and a half right now.
Yeah. And not a lot of ways to block it.
Yeah. There's no. Well, he's in Logos, so he can't even use his Ritual of Balance. And just gonna get some Ember. It looks like here. Phase shifting into the Dust Pixie, and Dan's gonna forge key 1. And guys, I apologize for this consistent color correction I got going on here.
Yeah, so Dan almost always goes Dis here, in all likelihood. And then I don't know if he...
I think you kind of have to go Dis. Make him pay that extra.
Yeah. Well, it would get him off check. So it makes it so all of his Shadows cards would still be active if he draws into them later.
Oh, yeah, he's only at 8. I thought he was at 9 for some reason. Yeah, he's counting. He's going to go
Yeah.
Dis. Especially, I think, let me double check the deck. I think there is, nope, this is not the deck he has with a Rise in it, so I thought maybe it would be, but it's not. Yeah, I know, disable the auto white balancing. We had a camera issue today. I don't know how much I want to mess with it, but we're going to try for you guys. If anything goes wrong, I'll blame Rob's gaming table. We're getting a little richer, a little richer, a little richer. We'll stop there. Yeah, I had it disabled yesterday, but we had a huge problem today because Windows likes to do everything at the exact wrong time. He's like that one uncle that doesn't know when to not say things. So, you know, we had that problem today. So
here's my question. So he went Control the Week here, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's at 5. Now, he had the option to suicide his Dust Imp to get 1 extra Amber.
Yep.
I feel like if you're going to do the Control the Week play, you should Control the Week into Logos and then get yourself at 6, just to make sure that your opponent can't get you off check.
I think he did control the week into Logos. He went Logos. So.
Yeah, but what I mean is that, like, he could have made sure that he was on check. He only got himself up to 5.
Right. But you could have gone 6 going with the Dust, suiciding the Dust Imp.
Yeah.
Oh, and here goes Library Access. No longer can loop, but we've already seen it once today where he's had a very good Library Access.
Oh, well, I guess it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
He got a Dimension Door.
Dexter.
Did he just draw like a fistful of Logos cards?
I'm guessing so. Well,
Yeah.
he drew one from the library. He drew one from playing the Dexter. He's going to draw one. I don't know if he reaped. I'm guessing he must have
reaped there.
reaped with Quickcell.
Yeah, because those are both steals.
There's steals, but at 5, I don't know. Maybe I attack with Quickcell to get the extra card.
I mean, that was great. I would probably actually just go Dis again. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's going to lash him, make him pay the 9. That's not a feel bad if that's all you can do. He's going to get Bauble off of it, so
He has at least 1 discard in hand.
But making him pay 9 for a key, I don't think anybody feels bad at that point.
Yeah.
We'll see where he goes.
Okay,
with this.
chat said that George had played Fogify. So
he played Fogify.
All right,
Okay,
so
so no fighting for Mr. Dan. Well, if he played Fogify, there's no fighting.
All right, he does need to tap the Bauble there.
Where's Dunk? Did he not play Fogify? Oh, Fogify is that for the Imp?
Yeah.
I'm guessing. Okay. I'm like, if he played Fogify right now, I don't know why he's fighting with Untamed. Previous turn. Thank you, Lord Winter. And there you go, suiciding it into Quickcell. Oh, use the Bauble
Yeah.
to use the Niflate. Got it. Tocsin, and he's going to reap. Oh,
Nice.
This could be big. I mean, if he gets the right card here.
Yeah, I mean, George can keep him off check with Untamed, so that's nice.
See what he got. Bauble.
That's
So not
whatever.
a bad pick. George does
If he
have
can
a
get
seed down.
one more Amber, that's what he needs. But
And he's not going to get it.
at the very least, though, you force him to interact with you.
Right.
And if you know that his deck has marginal amount of Amber control, just anytime you can get the check, it really puts George in a tough spot where he'd have to call Untamed,
So we are 1 key to 1 key right now.
All right, so George did pick up Archive, so I'm guessing he has something useful here.
Yep, and I'm guessing at this point he's going to go Dis. So I'm guessing he stashed some stuff in there for Dis, or either that or he's going to burst with Untamed.
Yeah, I mean, the best case scenario for George is he takes 1 Amber and then gets enough. Takes 1 Amber to get him off check.
Can he take
then-
1? Is that 6? That is 6. So yeah, he can get him
okay,
with the
he's
ritual.
going Dis.
Yeah,
He's probably playing a Shaffles, would be my guess. I can't see his hand, but you have to get your opponent off check here.
Shooler to steal
okay,
one,
there we
so
go.
that works too.
And the kill.
And there's the Shaffle. So yeah, he was hiding a whole bunch of discs. I'm gonna guess. Oh, okay, Guardian Demon. I was kind of expecting to see the Restring Guntus,
Ooh.
but we're gonna get a CTW instead.
All right, that has to be this, right? That's a great time to have that card there, because like this is really what George needs to have that turn to just stall him out.
He's putting them in disc.
Yeah.
And I believe most of Dan's discards are in his discard pile, if I'm not mistaken.
His turn's gonna probably be just Lash pass. Yeah.
Bauble, Lash, and pass. Yeah. So we saw a lot of discards early, so I can't imagine he's got.
We've only
anything
seen
in.
one control the week from George, right?
Yep.
So if he can rip another one here, that's really the type of play he needs. And we haven't seen Restring Guntus either.
No.
So if
I half expected to see Restring Guntus last turn, but he must not have found it yet.
so, if you're calling Restring Guntus, are you calling for Untamed or are you calling for Shadows?
The Shadows House is what scares me more in this deck.
I mean, it's close.
Yeah.
I would probably actually go Untamed just because I think he's played more Shadows cards.
Yeah.
But he could be in the type of spot that he needs to be in. There it is.
Yep, that's not the CTW. Do we see? No, we still haven't seen Restring Guntus. He knows
There it
is.
is.
That's probably
All right.
the lock.
So probably it should be Untamed, I think.
And he's got Seed on board.
All right, Shadows is
So
fine.
he's not going to call Shadow. Yeah, the Untamed's weak. So I think that's the right call. The Untamed can't do much. Speed Sigil is out. So that's, not the worst thing in the world. But
Yeah, I
we
mean,
put
like-
him on disc, so he's going to get another turn here for free.
Yeah. Well, 2 turns because he's going to Seed, get the control of the week, do it again.
Right. So this is kind of like, the best storm for George.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the Lash does prevent him from getting the key.
And Shaffles is just kind of eating away at Dan's Ember.
But ultimately, once the lockouts happen, George is going to be way, way, way ahead.
And George is a good majority through his deck, too. So he's going to probably cycle here soon, I would assume.
Yeah.
And he's just reaping for a bunch right now. Oh, he's going to kill the Imp. Okay.
All right.
Killing the Imp for additional 2.
Well, you know you're losing 9.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. Popping the Seed.
Yep. For another control of the week.
I guess there's confusion as to how he could do that, but
Putting him back in disc. The only thing that's weird is he's going to make it cost 9 again. But I guess it doesn't matter if you're getting another free turn.
yeah. You're gonna get a whole nother free turn because so he's at I think like 12 or something, so he can put him in check again, and then what's Dan gonna do? He's gonna have to have
He's got to have
Shadows.
an answer for
So actually,
Shaffles.
that's really I guess why you keep the Restring Guntus for Shadows that I didn't see initially was that if you can put him in check and not let him play Shadows,
Right.
I don't think he has any key control in Untamed.
No, there's no key control in the Untamed section. The only thing that would really be big is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
good
they're
game.
just
We're
calling it.
Okay. So that's game 1 to George. So let's scroll up here and find out which one's George.
So I wonder if what Dan needs to do in this game is he needs to be way more judicious with his board.
Yep.
Because in this game that we saw, Dan was pretty liberally trading his guys.
Yeah. And in that situation, knowing I'm getting hit with the lock,
yeah,
I don't think I Relentless Whispers my Urchin at that point.
Well,
because I can't afford it. I need a board with 3 different houses out there.
Yeah.
Because when that Restaurant Gruntus CTW happens, there's obviously going to be enough information where he can possibly lock me out. If I have
Yeah.
a creature on board, I have an answer for that Restaurant Gruntus, and it's not horrible.
yeah, I mean, you do still want to make sure you get the max value out of your Shadow Steals. I'm thinking more about like when he suicided his Dust Imp.
Yeah.
Right. He could have just gotten 1 Amber for that, because the 2 damage on Quickso ended up doing nothing.
Right.
And I don't know if that 1 Amber really mattered. Whereas if you keep that Dust Imp, that could help.
And I wonder if that's what he was thinking about. Let's keep the Dust Imp out there just in case, but then eventually just said, let's burst, and it just didn't work out.
But more importantly, like Dan was just like trading off his other guys. Like he traded off like his Niffle and a couple other characters that I can remember, where maybe he just needs to reap.
Yeah.
And then that works out
and
better for him.
That's what I would have done. I probably would have held that Relentless Whispers for a little bit. I mean, I think next turn he played something with 2 powers, so you'll get your Ember off Relentless Whispers. Don't worry about it, but you got to have the board out there to just be able to have answers for, because without the LA loop, George is basically looking for a lockout. It's a full control deck at that point. So. So what are your thoughts on this new format? While we watch these guys shuffle, obviously now it's going best of 3 as opposed to adaptive.
For Archon specifically, I think best of 3 is better. Just because, like, while I like adaptive format a lot, the deck you would bring for an adaptive game would be very different from a deck you would bring from an Archon.
Sure.
So that's where I would just prefer, if you're going to do adaptive, you should be able to just play a different deck. But 2 out of 3 is good. It lowers the variance somewhat. There's still people can still get really lucky, but it's a lot lower chance that someone could just high roll.
Top 4, top 4 being. Whoa. All right. As the side event players are, I believe that's the team sealed side event that's getting a little crazy over there.
Yeah, I mean, the reality with Keyforge is a game that should just be best of 3 anyways.
Right.
Time constraints are really where the problem is.
Right.
So,
in an Archon, I feel like you can get through 45 minutes. I feel like you can get through 3 games in an Archon.
Yeah, if you're playing fast.
You're going to have some grindy stuff out there, but in an Archon format, you can get through. Now, sealed, I don't know. Sealed's a little tough because you're learning your deck as you go.
Yeah.
A lot, and this has nothing to, this has a lot to do with AOA. AOA is a grindier set. You're just dealing with a lot more of a board state, and it's not as fast. Where Coda's just bing, bang, boom, and it's over. We just saw what did that game literally take? 20 minutes?
Yeah.
So, not a big deal. Turn 1 Hunting Witch. That's gonna
nice.
gonna need an answer and quickly. And I saw the Relentless Whisper in Dan's hand, and I think you have to forego the steal to answer the witch.
Let's see here. He's going Dis.
He's gonna go Dis.
So he wants the bodies. Well, I guess the Hunting Witch is probably gonna hit for 2 or 3 next turn.
Yeah.
That's not the end of the world if you can get the steal off too.
And he does have the Relentless Whisper, so yeah, you're in net 2. Oh, okay. So not a big deal because he does still have Quickso and
this can get dark.
Time Hog, yeah.
Well, he only has 3 Logos creatures, right?
Yeah, Quickso's 4. No, he doesn't have Neutron Shark. Just Skippy Time Hog. But he's gonna burst here for a decent amount. If he's got the LA, I'm assuming he's got a decent amount of Logos cards in hand, which is pretty interesting. Starting off.
That's
okay,
it.
That's it. So just play the LA, get that. Maybe he was hoping for some extras.
So you only got 2 Amber off that turn. Not bad.
No, that's
holding the Whispers feels a lot better now.
Yeah, I feel like that actually kind of escaped that one because that could have been really bad if you see a Quickso, Skippy Time Hog, and a Dexter all fall. Plus Georgia's, I believe, Georgia's logo side is just packed
all right,
with
so he's
amber.
calling Dis. It looks like he really wants the what's it called? To get that discard, but I don't know what you're trying to discard unless you really want control of the weak scone.
There it is. So, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, right? So
yeah.
And then the Lash is coming down. I don't know what he's got in his hand. He might have a Mitfold. Nope, just the Lash. So. But getting rid of one control of the week is pretty huge.
I don't love that turn at all, but like when you get the control of the week out, all of a sudden it justifies.
Feels a lot better.
It justifies that turn.
But this is going to be a problem. He had another one, so he had both control of the week.
Actually, this is great for Dan.
Yeah,
because George has no good control of the weak targets,
right?
And now they're both gone. So like
put him on shadows. Okay,
he has a seed. That's the only way he can get one of those back.
Right.
So like he's not going to find himself in the 4 turn lock that he found himself last game.
Right.
So I think George at this point just has to try to reshuffle his deck.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
And that's what he looks like he's doing. He's just going with most
cards.
Most cards.
Because
so.
If you're not getting those controllable weeks back, it's going to get bad.
He took the logo off the board, so I don't know if he hit it or not. Dan has to go shadows, and I'm just not sure if Dan's looking for cards. And yeah, it looks like that's what he's doing. So he's calling shadows, obviously.
Faygin's nice.
Faygin is nice. Urchin. Faygin plus Speed Sigil is even nicer, but it is what it is. There's both Urchins.
And then you can Relentless Whispers the Dust Imp to get another Amber.
Right. And there it is. Ember +1. I don't know if George has anything to steal.
He does, because when the Dust Imp dies, he gains 2.
Yeah, that's true. The trigger. That new fun delayed trigger flow chart. Definitely pay attention to that.
You know, the timing chart that we have for this game right now leaves a lot to be desired, but it's a lot better than no timing chart.
I would say it's a lot better than where we were.
Yeah.
So I'll take it. I wanted something a little more comprehensive, but you know.
The game went from illiterate to a 3rd grade reading level.
Right. So, I mean, that's progress.
We just got to bump it up to an 8th grade reading level.
By the end of next summer, maybe we'll be at high school. Who knows? You know? All right. Are we... Oh, I got to say, I see Dunk talking, but I'm not sure what he's doing. So, Faygin's gone. That's a bummer. Shaffles, that's also a bummer.
That's a good turn there.
Yeah. Oh, double Shaffles.
Yeah. Well, mainly because he still gets to draw cards.
Right.
Right, and then that's what he needs. But he also now has Dan in a position where he can maybe get him to do the same thing he did last game, where he starts trading too much. You know.
True. The Shaffles are going to need an answer. Absolutely. You can't leave double Shaffles out there for very long.
He does have co-op hunting, and it looks like he has 3 creatures, so he's just going to bomb the board.
Oh, he's got a Mimicry in hand, too.
Well, I think you Mimicry for Dis if you can get all of the Dis guys out.
Yep, there they go. Bye-bye. Yeah, those Shaffles needed to be answered, so.
6 damage.
What do you Mimicry
good.
For?
Control the week.
As I say, do you Mimicry for a CTW and go from there?
Yeah, and just say you got to play this again. And your turn is going to be you get 1 Amber. I don't even know what else you could conceivably want here. Because, like, George is gone Dis the last couple turns.
Yeah.
So, you know, like
there's not much left.
Locking him out of cards, locking him out of Amber. And also, like, the Dust Imp can't really kill anything of significance.
I'm not sure what he called, but I'm sure we'll find out shortly.
I can't imagine that you'd call anything else.
Yeah, I can't either, but you never know.
Because George has at most 2 discards in hand. All right, he got him on Dis.
Yeah.
And yeah, they just.
So that's a feel good. That's a feel good Untamed turn for this deck. Get all the warm and fuzzies out of the way.
All right, so hopefully George or Dan can rip a Dis turn here. Because if you can get a nice discard on Tocsin, you know, that'd be good. And then also, like, you can reap for 3
no
for
Speed
sure.
Sigil out. So I was going to say, if he can get that, if he can get his Snudge Shooler combo online, but that's going to require a couple turns. So yeah, I think he's got to go Dis here.
If he can. We don't know if he has enough cards.
He's got the Dominator out. Okay, we're going to go Shadows. We're going to get that pesky Dust Imp out of the way. And he's got a Bauble too, so I guess that's going to allow him to interact out of House. But no, I'm sorry, he went Shadows, not Dis.
Yeah, he's going Shadows. I hope he has more Shadows cards than that. I don't love that turn if that's all he's doing.
I know there's a one last job, and I'm hoping he's not going for it right now, but he's going to.
Why don't you like that play there?
He's got more in the deck.
I mean, but like George is very likely going to kill those urchins.
Yeah. So I guess the one last job to purge him isn't horrible.
The Faygin's already gone. Yeah, like this is good. Because like he has, I think, a Shadow Self and a Dodger,
And
right?
you know, you're really right. And I'm playing my deck, not George's deck. So I should really think about that. Because George's doesn't have much Ember control.
Yeah.
And
there's no like
Ritual of
too
Balance
much
isn't online. So
Now, okay, now this George has 2 Amber there, right?
I believe so.
I would have purged those Shadows guys too. Because
The Shadow Self and the Dodger.
yeah, because you put George on a very tight clock if you do that.
So what do you get? Another 2. So 2, 4, 6.
He's
8,
at 9
10,
right now.
11, 12, 13. Yeah. You're basically giving him a 2-turn clock to
Because
answer.
you're not gonna trigger those cards. Also, like that Shadow Self should be on the edge, not in the middle. Like you're probably not calling Shadows for another 4 turns.
Right.
So like playing those cards doesn't do anything. All it does is protect you against Control the Weak and Restoring Guntus, which his opponent doesn't have right now.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you, Lord Winter, at that point. You do get diversity on the board, but the problem is we've already seen both CTWs gone.
Yeah,
So-
if they weren't there, then that's the right play.
Right. But with both Control the Weak's gone, he's really looking for a Restoring Guntus and Seed.
Yeah. And we already know he doesn't have a Restoring Guntus because he didn't play it
Right.
the previous turn.
Yeah, well, that's the only. I think it's one of the few discards we haven't seen out of George yet. Are we still on George's turn? Is he going through? No,
I
I'm guessing
think
he's
it's
done.
Dan's turn. So I think if Dan just
Yeah, Dan
gets
just
2
forged
Amber,
his
I think it's
second key.
over, right? Like I don't know what George could have to get him off a key at this point.
Ritual of Balance.
me
That's
see
about
here.
it. Shackles are gone. Both Control the Weaks are gone. He's got a Restoring Guntus. I believe Shooler was played pretty early as well, so Shooler's gone.
Yeah, he's dead.
That's about it.
Yeah, there's no outs here.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Oh, he only got up to 6. Did he fight something?
No. He played a Niffle Ape and Reap. Oh, Murmook. That's the other one. Murmook is kind of
Okay.
been out, and he's got Murmook and Ritual out now.
All right, so
that's a big board.
Dan's turn needs to just be reap 3 times.
Get as many Amber as possible, because he's going to take at least. It's going to cost him +1 for the Murmook, which he does have an answer for, but the Ritual Balance is at least going to take 1. Yeah, next game I'll have them reassort their keys, because obviously I don't know why they decided to put everything on the right side.
yeah.
Maybe I could just no, we'll just leave that.
Yeah,
as is
yeah,
for now.
we're good.
I'm not going to mess too much with it, but I'll have them reassort their keys so you can actually see them. And he's got the Bauble too, so
If
I
he goes
imagine you
Untamed,
go
he
Dis,
can get
right?
If he goes Untamed, he gets 4 Amber. Like just whatever house gets you the most Amber.
1, 2, 3. I'm seeing 3.
He has a card that gains Amber in hand.
Oh, he has a card in hand. I didn't see it.
Dis would be good too because he can get 3 on board plus whatever
Right.
he has there.
He's gonna
Oh no!
kill the
Oh,
bear.
no! Oh my God!
Interesting. Bauble, so he's gonna at least get 2.
I think you got to keep your eye on the ball here.
He's gonna come for a.
All right,
Oh, okay. So he's gonna come for a steal.
that's fine.
Okay. I was all gonna go to Shadow Self, but Tocsin's gonna reap eventually and take a card.
Also, that should be killing a Murmook, not the other guy. Although he's up to 8 at this point, I think that's
It's still
still
gonna
enough.
do it, but yeah.
But it's a process over results thing, right?
Right.
Like these are the kind of decisions that could hose him in the game 3 when it might be tighter.
Eater of the Dead, Dust Imp, Lifeward's out, but I think this is kind of GG. I don't know what George
Yeah.
could be looking for. Maybe a Dimensional Door. Did he play that already?
Oh.
Dimensional Door will give him an out.
Yeah. I think he played it earlier, though, right? If I remember, he
I thought
played
that
that
was
like
game 1. He played that early on. Because game 1 he played it, and that's when he reaped with Quicksaw. I don't know if I've seen it this game. But that's really Dimensional Door is his only real big out here. We'll see if he has it, because if he doesn't, it's over. We'll go to round 3.
So George is looking at his hand. So he's probably going to say Logos and try to draw cards and hope to get something.
I'm going to say find the Dimensional Door would be the biggest, but if he doesn't find it with the Bauble, he's going to fight with Quixo. And then he's really only, just drawing 2.
So
then at most he can steal 2.
Here's the other thing, too. If
Yep.
Dan didn't kill the
I think he
Murmook,
just found it.
he didn't kill the Murmook, and he didn't fight, and he didn't reap
Right.
with the Shooler, right? So that's effectively 2 Amber he missed on that turn, which if he just top decked what's it
Dimensional
called?
Door.
Yeah, now all of a sudden George is still
I'm
alive.
surprised he drew a Logos card. I saw it. That's one of the few left in the deck, so... It's one of those times where we wish Amazon was a little bit faster. I'm guessing he didn't find it.
Yeah.
He would have already played it if he didn't find it, or if he'd have found it.
Well, he should still fight Quixo, just to see.
Okay, so we're gonna deal some damage. Okay. And I'm wondering if the Twin Emission... Oh, no, we did find the Dimensional Door. There it is.
Okay.
Reap, steal 3. That should take Dan... Nope, that doesn't take Dan off key. He's still at 6.
No, because he didn't kill the Murmook.
Ah, fair enough.
It's like...
Murmook still is in play.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's...
But that's going to be key 2 for George.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so this is, again, where Dan needs to keep his eye on the ball.
Right.
It doesn't matter if George makes his key here. You just have to reap as much Amber as
I think I just
possible.
have to go Dis.
Dis.
Right, do I go Dis?
Yeah,
I
Dis.
Suicide the Dust Imp, Reap, Dominator, Bauble,
Lash.
Lash, fight
Lifeward.
with... Yeah, you're going to pop the Lifeward, but fight with Dodger here on the end to get rid of the Murmook.
Yeah, for the love of God, you got to get rid of the Murmook.
The Murmook. Oh, no.
You're trying to
What are we going-
psychically
we're
tell...
go- Yeah,
oh,
no,
no.
we're going to...
Oh, my
We're
God.
going to Quick Sell. Killing off... I mean, the Mook's the big one, but... I
he
guess
can still
it
use...
steals 1.
Stealer of Souls can get the Murmook, too,
Yep.
right?
And that will steal him 1, I believe, as well, and purge Murmook.
It purges Murmook and he gains 1.
Right.
So, like, he doesn't lose Amber on that.
Get the card. What do we get? A Telega. It's meh. Lash.
Come on, the Murmook, buddy.
Yeah.
We're psychically telling you.
I know. I'm trying. You guys have no idea how hard it is sitting here, being behind a wall, and they're only like 10 feet away and not
Oh,
going.
no.
Yeah, all right. Well.
Also, the Dexter doesn't even get purged. He just goes top of deck. Okay, I guess he's...
I guess we're letting it. So
No.
we're gonna go Skippy. Wow. I mean, I
All
guess
right.
maybe he's worried that he's got some sort of trick.
I don't know.
I can't see what he would have, but he's got. I mean, the tricks are done. What is Dan at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He can get to 11 here, getting with the Dust Imp,
Yep.
or get to 10 by reaping. I don't know.
I mean, a reap is
Just gonna
fine.
reap
I
with
think
it.
he still wins, but
He
like,
still wins, but it wasn't. It could have been a lot prettier.
Yep.
Lifeward, no critters.
a control into Logos.
Yep. Logos would be the good play here. Three fates. You're gonna blow up your own dudes.
Yeah, you kill like a big twig, I guess.
Yeah. The
Oh,
big-
he discarded it.
Oh, okay. So we'll see what the CT dub call was. No vertical monkey. It is strict best of 3, not adaptive. So we are 1-1. This is game 2. I think we're about to be 1-1 here. So he put him into Logos, which was the right call. That should be over,
that's it.
and that should be a good game. That should be key 3, no?
Maybe they forgot to flip.
That should be key 3. You take over for a little bit. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay, so we were pretty sure that that was the third key, but in any case, let's assume that that's only the second key. Dan's still in a pretty solid spot. Okay, so Brooks saying it's only the second key. I don't know. Maybe we were just. Let's see here. Okay, I mean he's still in a good position. Like he's at 3 amber left. Like he can still reap a bunch. Oh, I didn't think about that. Okay, so. Oh, Wookie's gone.
He's coming right back. Well, he's coming right back, subbing in for a minute. But you know what's happening, so.
Yeah. I mean, Dan should still win this game anyways. We thought that he was forging his third key. It turns out it was only the second key. I guess we'll rewind the tape. Maybe we just missed it, but George shouldn't have a Dexter on the board. But I think it's too late at this point.
Is there a Lifeward? Is it
Yeah, so he played a Lifeward. But I think we were too focused on the keys to even miss the fact that the Dexter was there. All right, so you put him on check. So George pretty much has to go Untamed here. I don't.
Because of the ritual?
So now I'm. Okay, chat. Does George have 2 keys or 1 key? I actually don't know anymore. Because if George could still be in it with Untamed if he goes take 1, reap, put a little more amber.
He just called Untamed and did it and used the ritual. Saved the pack. All right, I'm tagging out.
All right, so I just talked to the head judge. He says that was the second key. So
Okay.
there's only 2 keys on the board, and both of them are owned by Dan right now. Yeah, George has 0 keys. Dan now has 2. I mean, both you and I thought that was third key, but maybe we got lost somewhere.
Yeah. Also, I somehow thought that George had
I
at
thought
least
George
1
had a
key.
too. Yeah.
So, yeah.
So very, very interesting. Yeah, right now it's 0-2. We thought it was 1-1 there or 1-2 there for a while, and this was Dan's third key, but
That's fine. I mean,
We
George
were
has
wrong.
George has no amber control.
Right.
So if Dan can just get to 7, it's a wrap.
right. So
Well,
we're
8,
looking at a
because he
deck
does have a
flip
seed.
Yeah. Well, we're looking at a deck flip here very soon. So Dan is at 5? I can't see with his hand in the way, but I'm assuming
It's 5 to
that's
5. 5 to 5.
Okay. So
Speed
there's
Sigil.
the Speed Sigil. And then what do we got? Yeah. Discarding the bait and switch. It's going to be practically useless here right now. Actually, it is useless.
Yeah. It's not going to matter.
And I guess we're a little confused how bait and switch works, but that's a...
Ooh,
the
Nexus, take the seed.
Yeah, ouch.
And then probably just get a Whispers on your Dust Imp.
Yeah, that is a perfectly timed Nexus. Speed Sigil plus Nexus getting out, hitting that seed. Yeah, if you Relentless Whispers the Dust Imp, George has no way of stopping that.
I mean,
absolutely.
George is, I think, already dead.
Yep,
Yeah,
okay, so he's already conceding. So we
So yeah, that
move
was,
into game 3.
that was a pretty big blowout there. And I mean, what it comes down to is if George doesn't have that lock, his deck has very little recourse to deal
Right.
with Dan because he just has no amber control. But I don't know what you do if you're George, right? If you draw the control the weeks early, you draw them early.
Right.
You know, there's not much you can do about that.
He does have a little bit of archive in the deck, so he can save him for later if need be. When he feels like he can hit the lock, I think there's a lab work and a sloppy lab work in there. So when he feels like he can hit the lock, archive those to hit the lock later on.
Yeah.
But I guess we're gonna take a short break.
Taking a break.
So we'll go back to intermission, guys. Coming over here, and we'll be back. I guess both players probably had to use the little boys / girls room. So we will see you guys here in a few. All right, we got a short break over and done with. You're good. Okay, so it's 1-1 going into game 3. And the biggest thing we've seen is Dan can't allow the Guntus lock.
Yep.
I think that's key here for Dan. He's got to avoid the Guntus lock. If he can, George's deck can't compete. That's kind of how I'm seeing it right now. So, your thoughts?
Yeah, I just think that what George really needs is he needs to hit the logos early.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if he can get the logos early and really craft his hands the way he wants, he can potentially lock Dan out. Also, the other thing that Dan had in Game 2 was he just had a bigger board.
Yeah.
And, with Game 1, George was able to lock him because he had no board, right? He was trading all over the place. Game 2, I don't know if this was intentional or just coincidental.
Yeah.
But towards the end, he started trading kind of recklessly.
Right.
But he just had a bigger board to work with overall.
Right. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll talk. I've talked to Massey already about bringing back Mars. Said it's not up to him, so I can't help you guys there. Maybe more signs will do it.
Yeah, really no love for Sanctum. My favorite house.
Sanctum's not seeing it. No, I haven't seen one Sanctum sign here today, or yesterday, for that matter.
No one likes playing white in Magic either.
Right. No. But everybody's got love for the Lizards, but not the Sanctum dudes.
They're replacing Sanctum with the Nova Core.
Yeah. Well, you think they're replacing with a Nova Core, or they're replacing them with the Saurians?
I think of it as the Nova Core.
I see a lot of Sanctum in the Saurians, especially if you guys watched yesterday. I did get to play with a Worlds Collide deck. We streamed it for a little bit for you guys. Yeah, those gaming tables are amazing. They are really, really, really nice. Oh, it's a phone. I'm like, what is that in the bottom left corner? It's a phone.
Mm-hmm.
So 1-1. This is for all the beans.
All right, so Dan with the mulligan. Who's on? I guess George is on the play.
I would believe. I don't know. Whoever lost gets to choose who goes first. So George would get to that decision.
Oh, I see.
I mean,
okay.
If you're George, do you go first or second?
I would probably rather go first, just to have a higher percentage chance of getting my archive effects.
And first turn, bear. Not overly exciting, but it's something.
I mean, what bear does is it can entice Dan to trade poorly again.
Yeah. So,
all right.
Battle of the Dueling
Oh,
Bears.
Jesus.
Dan seems to have more bears at the moment. And we're going to phase shift. Phase shift into a bear.
All right.
Seems like we're getting cheeky now at the table. No fighting next turn. And a library phase. That's not a bad play, really. I mean, that's going to get George what he wants, drawing more cards.
Yeah. You got to get to the pieces.
Yeah, I think that's the most bears I've ever seen on one board.
Yep. Definitely the highest density of bears.
Yeah. Bear Force 1. Oh, 3 Fate's going to take out at least 3 bears. Shooler, all right. It's not a great Shooler, but it works. It's in his hand, so he's got a dump too
Now,
to keep cycling.
I do like the early Stealer Souls.
Yep.
Just because there's a couple cards that Dan would really like to have purged out of George's deck. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. One called Restaurant Guntus would be awesome if we could just get rid of him for the rest of the game.
Shaffles is another good one.
And that purges too, so actually fighting into Dust Imp doesn't seem so bad now.
No, but it purges after.
It is a purge after the Destroy Trigger?
Yeah, Destroy Trigger still goes, and then...
Timing chart, people.
So I feel like he should go Shadows here, because he has the ability to build a big Shadows board.
Right.
But he doesn't have any Amber to steal, really. That shouldn't hold him back. Like, he should be trying to go for the
diversifying the board for the Restaurant Guntus. Or we were Relentless Whispers the Shaffles.
Sure.
That's not a horrible move. I would have done it.
He has a Shadow Self and a Faygin. So, like, you place the Shadow Self next to the Stealer's Souls, and then Faygin next to the Shadow Self.
Does he have both of those in hand?
Yeah.
Okay. Faygin, okay. We're not going to protect the Stealer.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, he has a Dodger. That works, too.
Oh, okay.
I don't think George has a Hand of Dis in his deck, so it doesn't really matter that the Faygin's in the middle. It's all coming together.
Yeah. So this is nice. He's got a nice diversified board, which means that George has got some work to do.
Yeah.
He's got to get rid of at least a house so that he doesn't fear just, Restaurant Guntus is one. It dies to sneezing. So, we...
And then George has, like, really no way to protect it.
Right.
This is about as scary of a board as you could face if you're George, because you have no board wipe.
No board wipe either.
Yeah,
which is
no board wipe,
problem.
and they're all just big. Like, if you just look at the numbers on Dan's creature, so George's play here needs to be.
I mean, got a Lost in the Woods, which is decent.
What you would hope is that you can yourself get creatures that are.
Did he discard the Lost in the Woods, or was that just not a Lost in the Woods?
Maybe it's a Fogify.
It could be a He's got Fog Bank in the deck too, so could
Okay.
be a Fog Bank. They both look very similar. And I think, really, honestly, Dan just needs to build.
Yeah, the bigger the board that Dan builds, the better.
Right.
Because, like, he just has so many big creatures. You would just hope that he doesn't get enticed into fighting here.
Yeah, and he doesn't, because he reaps with the bears. So.
Which is good.
Yeah, so just keep building that board. Nocturnal's
Nice.
very, very good.
Tap everything but the
Dust
Marmook.
Imp, Shooler, Marmook, yeah, that's fine.
Because he's not going to play Untamed again.
Actually, that's actually probably who you do want to tap anyways, so. Because really, Dexter goes to top of deck, so. It's not something George wants right now.
Dexter would reap, right? So what?
He reaps, but I'm saying if he were to fight to kill something, he goes to top of deck, which George has got to dig.
Yeah. So 2 Dust Imps. So if and when Dan draws an Urchin, it's gonna be feeding time with that Shadows side there.
Yeah, it looks like it's actually coming through for Dan because he hasn't drawn the Urchins yet.
Uh-oh.
Is that a CT dub?
You should control into Untamed. Yeah. And I think if you're Dan, you just reap twice.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no need to trade with anything here. And there's no need. Those Dust Imps can stick around.
I mean, so he's pondering here. I don't know what you would want to fight into. Like, there's no good targets.
There's no good target. I mean, Marmook is not
I
a
guess.
bad target, but you reap twice, you're at 7?
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Like, if you fight Marmook and then reap.
Why going into the Dust Imp?
I don't know. Okay.
That's an interesting... Unless he's setting him up and he's got the Shadows in hand to really just be like, I need that Ember, and that's the way I'm going to get it.
The downside of that play, though, is that now if George has, like, that second control of the week, it can get bad. Because he's not even in check now.
Oh, I'm sorry. That only puts him at 5, so reaping twice doesn't even get him to check.
Oh, okay. I thought he was there.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, Brooks. I'm thinking he's really looking at
He has to have the
setting
juice.
George up for the thievery next turn. The only problem is you got to remember that George has 2 controls. So if he plays it on him again, sending him back into Untamed, which obviously he knows there's only 2 cards on board for it, he could...
So calling Logos is great for
Okay.
Dan.
Yep.
What would not be great is if he plays a Skippy.
Yeah.
That'd feel pretty bad.
Skippy is a hero here, so... And is that... Nope, that's the Dexter. Oh, Dexter died. So he captures one from Dan, drawing it with the Bauble. Twin emission.
I like putting damage on the Shadow Self there too.
Yeah.
You got to get the thing in range to get rid of it.
Did he just put 3 on the Shadow Self and 3
He-
somewhere
there's
else?
2 on the Shadow Self, and he's debating where to put the other 2.
Okay.
He does have a Save the Pack.
Puts it on the Stealer Souls.
So yeah, I don't know if he has a Save Pack in hand, but he has a Save a Pack in deck.
Right.
So that's probably what he's setting up for here.
And hopefully for Dan, he's got all the thieving going on this turn.
Yeah.
'Cause I would expect to see 2 Urchins plus a Faygin for another Urchin. We'll see.
So it looks like he has a fistful of discards. You only really need 1 Urchin for this Shadows play to be disgusting.
Right. I see a Tocsin at the end. Let's see. Dan is gone. Yeah, he's going to go Dis. If that, I mean, that's probably, if he's got a handful, it's where he's going to head. And here, I think he just, I mean, Reap.
Yeah,
Possibly Stealer Souls 5 or 6.
he's a 6, so you
So
can
you
kill
can
a
fight the
3.
Mamook.
Yeah. If you take out the Mamook, that gets you 1 there.
And it
get another
purges him,
Reap.
so you know you're not going to see him again.
Yeah. I wonder if Dan realizes that the Save of the Pack is coming.
I'm not sure. Does George have it in hand?
Well, I mean, the way George played his last turn,
Right.
he signaled very hard that he does.
Sure.
So taking out the Mamook here is really nice, just
Yep.
because like now you're at 5. So if you get that killed off Save the Pack, you don't feel as bad.
Right. And I mean, he's not coming back.
Yeah.
You know, so that's obviously what you don't want them to see him again.
Now you don't want to fight with him. That would be really bad.
Yep.
Okay, so
Reap
that's a
with
Reap.
Shooler.
So it puts him in check. I mean, Ritual's going to take him off, but that's fine. Like you
And
saw,
we don't know what's in his hand yet. I mean,
you-
I do see some Dis, but I don't know what the rest is. Let's see what he's got even in deck.
Oh boy, control him into Logos.
That's not a feels good moment for George.
Yeah.
That's on a Lash. And that gets him the extra Ember he needs that will keep him on check for, well, he puts him in Logos, so it doesn't matter, but
Yeah.
it gave him the extra Ember if he were to go Untamed. He would have it.
And I do believe I see the Save the Pack in George's hand when he was shuffling his cards. Let's see if he can find that Dimension Door.
And that's really his only out right now is Dimension Door from first key 1. Yeah, he's digging hard.
Yeah. Hey. I don't know if that does anything.
Oh, a little library access action. Okay, well, we'll see.
Ooh.
Skippy.
All right. That's great. Oh, uh-oh. Okay.
George looks like he might burst here. Oh.
Wow.
Into a sloppy.
Yeah, that's that does feel pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, he just hit, what, 3
Yeah.
Logos cards in a row. I mean, I know the sloppy was off the wild wormhole, but that is going to let him to continue to move through his deck.
Yeah.
Have we seen George play Control of the Week yet? I don't.
I think he did once. More importantly, like, he's burning through his deck actually pretty fast.
Right.
So you do, if you're Dan, need to be very wary of the Control of the Weeks coming.
So Dexter's gonna reap. Okay. So not a good turn for George. Not awesome for Dan.
He does forge, so he gets his first
but
key.
He gets his first key. That's the important thing. And Dan here, I think, just again needs to keep building. Just get that board nice and big. Skippy Time Hog's gonna make it so he can't use creatures.
Yeah. Now the question is, does Dan have enough disc creatures or discards in hand to justify calling disc?
Now Dan's asking for his discard pile, so I'm assuming he's going Untamed.
For the Mimicry?
Which would mean, because he's got the Mimicry in deck, so I'm assuming he's going to go Untamed. Do you control the weekend back to Logos again?
That's what I would do. I mean, the Logos is Reap 3, so that doesn't feel great, but the Logos doesn't threaten a whole lot. Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
he
that
has
was a pretty clutch
actually,
Skippy Time Hog.
I would call this. He has a one last job in hand.
Okay.
So what you do is you keep him off a key,
Yep.
and then have one monster Shadows turn the next turn.
Because he's got what? But do you one last job? I don't know.
Or maybe you
that's
hold it.
actually tough because I mean, if he hits the lockout.
Okay, so he's calling Shadows. I feel like I would want to do the one last job after reaping, though.
Yeah.
Like, you do that to put yourself up so much amber that they can't come back. Like, you're only on key 1 right now.
And that would get him 1, 2, 3. That'd get him 3 ember from the one last job. Plus 3 ember for reaping, which puts me in key territory again. There's the one last job. Why did you not reap with them first?
Nah, Skippy.
Oh, Skippy, you're right.
That's why I'd prefer the disc turn first.
Yeah.
Just keep him off a key. And then next turn, that same play's still there for you.
Right. And this, unfortunately, undiversifies your board as well. So that makes the lock possible.
And it doesn't keep George off of a key.
Right.
So, yeah, that play can come back to haunt him later.
I think he forgot about his Lash sitting there. I think he did. It was so far to his left, I think he forgot it was on the board.
I think he might. I thought he had a Speed Sigil in hand, too.
I feel like he would have played it if he had it.
Oh. Okay.
But, I mean...
Oh, okay. Brooks pointed out, Skippy blocks Lash, I guess. I thought that Skippy only blocked creatures.
I thought it only blocked creatures, too.
But, all right.
You can find out right now. Where is Skippy Time Hog?
Cards.
Can I use any cards next turn? Okay, yeah, so that does block Lash, so it wouldn't have mattered. But George is going to go Untamed here, and he's going to burst. Talaga. That's going to slow Dan down a bit.
And we're getting very close to that spot where Dan was in last time, or the
Where he's
first
going
game.
to have to start trading.
Well, he can't trade, right? He actually needs to have more creatures. Okay, so he did have a Speed Sigil. He just held it.
Or did he draw it? He
I
might
mean,
have drew it.
I was okay.
He might have. I don't. You might be right, and he held it. I don't know why he'd hold it, but
because George has a Restoring Guntus in hand, so we know that he has that. George or Dan doesn't, but like George's deck is also like 5 cards deep, so you have to just
it's
assume.
not much. So the CTW is coming. He's asking for the discard again. So that has to make me believe he's got the Mimicry.
No, he has a Mimicry in hand.
Yeah. 'Cause at this point, I think almost positively you force him into Logos. He gets to draw 2
Yeah.
and reap for 1. There can't be much Logos left in that deck. Yeah,
Wait, how did that kill it? I thought she was a 4.
nope, she's a 3.
I'm thinking of Witch of the Wilds.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Telegus 3. So that'll kill it. Mimicry 4.
If you control the weakened Untamed, it actually isn't that bad. But, okay, he said Logos.
Logos now seems like a better move.
Yeah, there's not as many Logos cards that George can theoretically draw into.
But he did damage.
Wait.
So I'm thinking he Mimicried for the Twin Emission Bolt
Oh,
as opposed to the CTW.
that feels wrong, but
Because again, here we are. We have a very non-diverse board. Nothing but dis out. Well, okay, so we diversified a little bit.
oh, that's a
Oh, he had Troop Call.
Hysteria in hand.
So he got him
Okay.
right back. And he puts himself at check. 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, so he puts himself at check.
Yeah, I would have really much preferred he control the weak there, but we'll see. So if you restrain Guntus, do you call Dis or do you call Untamed?
Ooh. I wish I could grab Dan's discard pile. Just be like, hey, let me see that for a second. I think I have to call Untamed. Because I think he's gone through more Untamed than he has Dis.
I mean, he's calling Dis now, so he's going for it. I think he's
He called Logos.
So
Oh, no, he bobbled.
he's
Sorry.
he's probably gonna Guntus Dis, and then try to figure out a way to take out that other Niffle.
Well, he has the other way to take out the Niffle. That's Dexter.
He's calling.
He was calling Dis. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
he's calling Dis.
3 Fates, which will kill Big Twig-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, there it
Yeah,
is.
there. Okay.
Guntus, and then
So-
I'm guessing we'll see a Control of the Week as well, because I think we've only seen one.
It's gonna be Guntus for Dis, and then he should control into Untamed.
Right.
Ooh.
Ooh, now it's just gone. It's giving him 2, so that signifies, I'm guessing he has it. It's gonna make him force him out of shadows.
Okay. I don't love that.
No.
We'll see how it plays out. So
But he does
Dan
have a lot of
Forge.
shadows left.
Dan forges, right?
Yep, he should.
Well, because Dan
I
already.
don't know if
he already
he's
purged 3.
Oh no, he's drawing right now. Okay, so they're gonna wait for George to draw, and then I'm assuming because then Dan will take his turn.
Dan has a Hysteria in hand. That can get pretty gross.
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
He does need to remember to forge here. So forge is key number 2.
And what's he got? 3 left.
Yeah. Ideal scenario is if you can get 3 amber. I don't think he can, though.
He's gonna have to probably get 4. If he Hysterias, he gets 1. Back from Nocturnal Maneuver. Okay.
I like that. Get everyone but Restrain Guntus.
Right. Yep. And the Dexter.
No. Ah, okay. Wait.
Maybe he's not that worried. Oh,
Okay.
okay. I said maybe we're not that worried about the Rester and Guntus. So maybe there's more. There's more Untamed in there that I don't know about. So
I wish I could see Dan's hand.
I do too.
I really
Oh,
can't
there's the
imagine that
seed.
would be the best.
Seed not good. Unless he's holding a lot of shadows in hand, and that was his only play.
He had a Hysteria, though. That's another play.
Oh, you're right. You said he saw a Hysteria.
So, like, I'd rather just play Hysteria in that spot.
There it is. Hysteria. Lash. Everything goes back to hand.
It does not put him in check.
It's crummy that puts that Dust Pixie back in hand. Because that's gonna give George another 2.
Well, I don't think George can call Untamed here. I think he has to call Dis, and he has to lock out Logos again.
Yeah. So we're reminded of the Lash of Broken Dreams.
Uh-oh. Control him into
Just for
Untamed.
shadows, which that still, again, makes sense.
If you just control him into Untamed here, I think he wins. Well, actually, no, he only has 1 key.
Yeah,
so.
it's 1 key, but he's going to... he's already flipped his deck, so... and he's got Seed on board, so
Yeah.
this might be the lock.
Okay, why didn't... So he called him into Dis?
He called him into Dis.
That feels like the wrong move.
Well, all he could do was Lash.
Yeah, but if you call into Untamed, he's not blocking you with Untamed, and you keep 3 more Amber. Because, like, this lock doesn't last forever.
Well, he has the Seed on board.
Yeah, but,
So
like...
he's gonna get a CTW back. But yeah, Untamed saves you in 3 Ember, and then you reap for 3, and that should ultimately be game.
Let me see here. Yeah, probably.
So George is going Untamed here.
Okay, that
seems like the wrong move.
it might still be okay. Ideally, you'd get in check, but you can control the weak later. Inca is not what you need here.
Unfortunately, no. Yeah, I'm guessing he's holding. Something tells me he's got five Shadows cards in hand with the way he's playing. And he's just like, I have no win. That's it. But
Maybe George just got a soul read on it, because I felt like Dan played a bunch of Shadows cards early.
he did, yeah.
So, like...
And then unfortunately purging those, which is, I don't know how I felt about purging them at that point in time. I like the diversified board. Maybe I go without the one last job and just keep trucking to make, because I would have made him deal with 3 other creatures, especially, Shadow Self was still there, Dodger was there.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe he should have not played that. But we'll see. What do we got? We got a little Nepenthe action.
Seed.
Okay.
George has a control the weak, though, so he could just control into Untamed and it's over. Because I don't think that Dan has any Amber control in Untamed.
There's none in Untamed.
He has a Mimicry, that's it.
So seed for Mimicry, because he's already played the Mimicry, so he'd have to seed for Mimicry.
Yeah.
And then what do you do? Twin Admission Bolt into Guntus and
Okay.
whatever else?
I think George is just choosing not to win here.
So
Seed for a discard. Oh. Okay, I forgot Skippy was there.
yeah, can't use creatures right now. But there's none on the board to use, so that's a good game. He's locked
GG.
out.
Yep.
That's it. So congratulations to George.
Two-time Vault Tour winner, George.
Yeah, first two-time Vault Tour champion.
Very good for him.
And we're gonna get some signatures, and hopefully we can bring both the guys over here, and we'll do a little talking too. So we're gonna cut to intermission here. Let them get their paperwork signed, and we'll bring them both over. So thank you all for coming through.